Well, it turns out DirectX has no support for 2D. However, I'm probably going to either have to go with SDL or something else, but I'm not too really into SDL because of the licensing terms for selling stuff. But that's not what this video is about. What this video is about is explaining just how I do things like the houses of World 1, if that offers a hint as to what World 1 might be, and the buildings of World 2, which is almost similarly done, except there's a few minor differences. Buildings of World 2? Well, if this gives you any hint, this is that simulation screenshot, as you can probably tell. And by viewing at 200% zoom, I can get a sense on what full screen would look like on my monitor. Because after all, I view 1920 by 1440, but look at the image size. It's pretty close to... It's pretty close, but it's not exact. I'm also thinking of getting more sailboats, but you can see how these buildings are. And these buildings go out an incredibly long distance, if this 408 says anything. Yeah, 40,800 feet distance. That is way out there. They're a puny 2 pixels. Yeah, that's how big these things are. Yeah, Ronnis is just simply that. Huge. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, I know, I almost always have this up and running in the background because this program is not very stable. But the houses are done almost in a similar way the buildings are. Almost a similar way. Don't seem to be too much detail, right? Well, first I need to duplicate some. Yes, there's even a lighting one. Base means it's just a template in a sense. I need to rename this. Yeah, I already had it on the clipboard because I've already done many of them. How far do I need to go out for this number, the 19 here? Well, according to my plans, which is now 106 pages, yeah, it's a really massive document, it's, I need to go out to 32. I'm only on 19, but I wanted to show you just how I do this. I don't bother changing this because once I merge this down, then this is going to become this name, so it doesn't have any effect. Random number generator. Now why would I have that? Well, I use it for a good reason. I want random colors. Notice the colors here just seem kind of, you never know what one's going to be next. Well, that's where that comes in. How I use it is actually surprisingly simple. I use this tool, and I make 3 clicks, memorizing the first 2 numbers. 76, 209, and then that. 76, 209, kind of a cyanish color, really bright. Okay, I put it in here. Bucket fill. Hey, nice texture. Really nice texture. Yep, that's basically how that is. And then I just keep repeating the same process for the rest. 137, 229. That's basically how I do all the houses, is I just repeat this process again and again. But there's something else I need to do. And no, I'm not using all of these. Notice the huge width here. Yeah, 8,000, 7K. It's really, really big. But there's something I'm missing. How far do I go out? Well, since the 17, they've been 256 pixels. Back at the 3 and the 2, the 2's the closest. Those were 48 pixels wide. So, I need 256 multiplied by the scaling. Since my basis is on 1, the city's buildings are 2, so I have to have this number. So I get 4864. Okay, remember that. 4864. Now what I need to do is find it in here. It's kind of hard to do, so I'm going to zoom in so I can demonstrate this more clearly. Okay, notice the X position here, the 4860 here in the related. Well, this is going a little bit further over. It's 4875. There's nothing here. But if this is where it ended up, I'd include this entire house here. But it's not being included. So, except I'm on the wrong layer. I gotta watch that. Otherwise I'll have to make use of that Z button. You know, Control Z. The ever so handy thing. Same thing there too. But there's another thing I do. This comes in pretty handy, but there's a glitch with the 2.2 version. Yes, the 2.2 version, and I have no sign of wanting to upgrade either. But anyway, I just now need to continue on with these houses and go from there. I'll delete until I get to that point. 21861. So, final one already, 3529. So I get a blue. Yep, random colors. But there's a few more steps I need to do. One of them is merge. Okay, but there's another thing I need to do. Scaling of 19. That would be an awfully big house when you think about it. 180 times 19, that in coordinate units. Divide by 75, multiply by 11 to get it in feet. And oh my goodness, what a monster of a house that would be. But I need to scale it down. But there's a problem. That's not a multiple of 19. This here for sure, but that I'm not sure. So, 4810. Divide by 19, and that's what I get. Round it up, 254. Times 19. And that's the next higher multiple of 19. That's how you figure that out. And this one I can do in my head. Should be self-explanatory. And when the height changes, I max out the Y. Why? Well, because the bottom part is what goes on the ground. It just improves the accuracy. This I keep linked this time. Divide that by 19, which should be self-explanatory. Where to go? Look how tiny that is. Itty bitty little file. Now I just need to position it. Okay, and then I just go on to the next layer. It only takes, at this size, it only takes, I don't know, about 5-10 minutes, if that. Ronnis's buildings took a whole lot longer, but that's because I didn't think about using the random number generator method. Yep, same routine, except this time it's 20. And an important thing to do. And move on to the next stage of the process, which of course means more random numbers. 224, 238. Yellow. Bright yellow. You get the drift, right?